Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills. With that, let's get up to Buffalo. Standing by at New Era Field, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from the home of the Bills since 1973, there's a look at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, New York. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bills' Stephen Hauschka's got this one teed up, and off we go from New Era Field. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And this is a guy who cares totally about his team. He will do whatever it takes for a play to be successful and for his team to win. I've seen him become a lead blocker on running plays, even though I'm sure his coaches don't want him anywhere near that pile.
That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Andre Ellington, his first carry. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And a good job defensively. They stopped him short of the first at the 32. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football, got to him, and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. Levante David in on the tackle. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. No score after 1 on EA Sports. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble. Another miss.
Still on his feet. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. So he wanted to pass it, but that thing turned out much better.
And the crowd really responded, didn't they? They always like it better when the quarterback is scrambling around, actually takes off and runs downfield, and that's exactly what he did.
2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Bills touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Winston. And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard, but now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. On 3rd down, Winston. Caught. It's Ellington.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll set them back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Allen now looks to throw. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And now again, the play clock's going to run out on him. Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And boy, again, they won't get this off in time.
Delay of game, offense.
So that penalty will back them up half the distance to the goal line.
Still 2nd down.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. He'll buy some time right. Now on the run. And the defense loses him. It's complete. 30, 20, 10, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Cole Beasley, as the first half is winding down, and his guys get the quick strike touchdown. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, You could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you gotta expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gott.
Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This is taken at the 3. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
He's going to take off with it. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Throwing again on second down. Allen, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3-score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Flushed out right. He gets it to Brown, complete. John Brown, he's at the 30. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. John Brown, 88 yards. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is. They had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, and even better run for big yardage.
Now to send this one away following the score.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at the 40. Working out of the gun, Winston. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Here we go. Here we go.
Jameis to throw it. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. This is Ellington. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Throwing, Winston. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 25 yards that time. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
Ready? Flag! What goes on? Mike 58, right there. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. You better be ready. Let's go.
Jameis now on 1st down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. A good 1st down call as the screenplay gets him 9. To throw again on 2nd down. Winston. Another wayward pass. Yeah, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Again, it's Winston. It's hauled in by Ellington. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Now Winston, and that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. But it'll be second and goal. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. Gee, you figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on third and goal here. Winston to the end zone, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Here's Gay for the Buccaneer field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Gay knocks this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs them up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's McCoy. And an alley to run. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Again, it's McCoy. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.